Okay, folks, this is going to be part 2 of the original video. This is Hannity going the hell off on Hillary. Pretty damn good. Suggest you watch all of it. Thanks.
Obamacare, Hillary care, call it whatever you want, a complete and utter disaster. Well, Donald Trump, he wants free market competition to make it affordable for everybody. Competition will help you get more coverage for less money. Next, the Supreme Court. What has Donald Trump promised? He promised justices like Antonin Scalia and Clarence Thomas. They are originalists. They believe in separation of powers, co-equal branches of government. Clinton wants the exact opposite. Liberal activists who believe in legislating from the bench, people that would cite foreign law to justify their activism. That's not constitutionalism. Now, the choice for our country could not be clearer. Now, let's talk about national security. For example, when it comes to refugees, we've had the FBI director, the assistant FBI director, the director of national intelligence, the CIA director, the former special envoy to defeat ISIS, the House Homeland Security chairman have all said ISIS will infiltrate the refugee population like this.
Would that bring in Syrian refugees pose a greater risk to Americans?
I mean, it's clearly a population of concern.
The concern is in Syria, the lack of our footprint on the ground in Syria, that the databases won't have the information we need. So it's not that we have a lack of process, it's there's a lack of information.
And that obviously raises grave concern as to being able to do proper background checks of the individuals coming into the country.
Sorry about that.
We can only query against that which we have collected. And so if someone has never made a ripple in the pond in Syria in a way that would get their identity or their interest reflected in our database, we can query our database till the cows come home, but we're not going to, there'll be nothing show up because we have no record on that person.
There is some fear that some of these refugees may actually be posing as
Look at them coming in, folks. That's what you're going to have if Hillary is elected.
ISIS terrorists trying to sneak into Europe or the United States. What do you make of that?
Well, certainly that's a possibility. I mean, you can't dismiss that out of hand.
We should be conscious of the potential that Daesh may attempt to embed agents within that population.
The group is probably exploring a variety of means for infiltrating operatives into the West, including in refugee flows.
Now, even Hillary admitted in private, we can't vet these refugees. In other words, she's willing to gamble with your life. Donald Trump, he supports extreme vetting of refugees, especially ones coming from countries in the Middle East that have a whole lot of jihadists and represent a clear and present danger. Have we not learned anything from Europe? Hillary apparently hasn't. Watch this.
Look, we're facing the worst refugee crisis since the end of World War II, and I think the United States has to do more, and I would like to see us move from what is a good start with 10,000 to 65,000 and begin immediately to put into place the
Are you kidding me?
For vetting the people that we would...
Come on!
That make you feel safer? What she just said is a 550% increase. So why doesn't Hillary listen to our top intelligence and defense officials? If these unvetted refugees kill you, the American people, attack our homeland, she would be responsible. What about border security and Trump's promise to build a wall? A country without borders is not a country, and Hillary has bragged she wants to build bridges and not walls. Give me a break. Now, people can walk across the border looking for a better life, so too can America's enemies. Now, the president's job is to protect the homeland, the most important job they have. But it's not just the country's security that's impacted. There are, 11 million, the number of illegal immigrants in the United States? Guess what? That's costing you, the American taxpayer, a fortune, almost $113 billion a year in education, healthcare, criminal justice costs alone. It's time now to put America first. We can't afford it any longer.
America first.
Mexico won't write us a check to build a wall, but with Trump's tough trade deals, well, hopefully they'll more than pay for it. Now, the military, it is in a drastic decline. It is time to modernize America's weaponry with the most technologically advanced equipment we can develop. Donald Trump has vowed to make this happen. And when it comes to foreign policy, Clinton, Obama, they have such a long list of failures. What about that Russian reset? They gave the #1 state sponsor of terror, Iran, $150 billion.
Also, uranium.
Centrifuges? What about Syria? What about the Red Line? Well, they did nothing when Assad crossed it. And Obama and Clinton gave Mohammed Morsi, remember him? Former president of Egypt. He was part of the Muslim Brotherhood. Well, they gave him F-16s and tanks and $1.5 billion of your dollars. Now, North Korea, they don't respect us. China, they have territorial ambitions. They have no fear of the United States under Obama or Hillary. And then there's Benghazi, which happened under Hillary Clinton's watch, 4 Americans dead, and at this point, it makes a difference. And that's not all. The country is divided like never before. And you know what? The people in the front line of dividing this country, rich versus poor, old versus young, black versus white, men versus women, is Obama and Hillary Clinton. How often have we seen them play the race card? She's been pitting people against each other again and again, trying to paint Republicans, conservatives, as being bad for the African American community. Now, this has all been done to distract African Americans and the American people from the fact that under the leadership of Obama and Clinton, African Americans on food stamps has gone up, look at this, 58%.
58%.
18.5%. And like every 4 years, Democrats, they play the race card to get votes. Well, Donald Trump has promised a new deal with African American voters. He promises safe communities, high-paying jobs, and a good education. And when it comes to education, what did Trump promise? He said he wants to get rid of Common Core, top-down, NEA education. He'll let you, American parents and teachers and local communities and states, you get to decide how to run your schools. And they'll send education back to you where it belongs. Hillary, on the other hand, free college. Everything's free in Hillary's world. No realistic...
Ain't gonna work.
How she plans to pay for it all. I'll say it again. This is a choice election. When it comes to the economy, it's Trump who will cut taxes. Hillary will raise taxes. Energy, it's about energy independence, the lifeblood of our economy, or dependence, and that would be a disaster. Obamacare, repeal it, replace it, or keep it and double down on it. I don't think that's a good idea. When it comes to the Supreme Court, hang on one second. This will impact this country for generations. Donald
for a long time.
Hillary wants activists, liberal, acorn, Alinskyite sitting on the court legislating from the bench. Fighting Islam, radical Islam. Do you want a commander-in-chief who's not afraid to call out our enemy for what they are and who they are? Refugees, do you want people to be extremely vetted to keep you safe or not? When it comes to the military, should we rebuild it or allow our military to continue its decline like Clinton will take us? What about America's role in the world? Do you want us to be first or not? You okay with America's decline?
Hell no.
Our kids, should we be, if we're paying the most money per capita, shouldn't we have the best test scores? We're like 18, 22, and 25, and we spend more money than any other industrialized country. Now, in my mind, tomorrow is an important day. The answer couldn't be more clear. So if you're in a swing state, if you're in Florida, if you're in Ohio, if you're in Iowa, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, Colorado, New Mexico, Nevada, if you're in Maine's 2nd Congressional District, North Carolina, we need you.
We need you.
It's up to you. You can decide tomorrow to save America from the declining state it is in and stop this downward spiral. That's what this election is about. Tomorrow night, if Hillary Clinton's elected, those who didn't support Donald Trump, voted for Hillary, or never Trump her, I'm telling you right now, you
own it. It's going to be your fault.
You own her tax increases. You own her open borders. You own Obamacare.
Just look at that smug face.
Energy independence. You will own it. All right, we got a lot coming up tonight. Trump takes his message to a lot of swing states. Today, Laura Ingraham is here with Reaction Plus. 3 of Donald Trump's children, Ivanka,